Welcome to Going Dutch 17th Century Paintings from the Collection at Leamington Spa Art Gallery and Museum. This exhibition explores Leamington's rich holdings of Flemish and Dutch paintings made in the 17th century and later copies made after 17th century works in the 18th and 19th centuries. Our exhibition starts with this fantastic work by Bloemaert, painted in around 1615 and depicting the story of the prodigal son in a farmyard landscape. Bloemaert is not a household name, but he was an incredibly significant artist at the beginning of the 17th century in the Netherlands. Born in Utrecht, he developed this farmscape, or focus on the farmyard, depicting everyday life, such as a woman feeding chickens, and up here in a tree, a man gathering firewood with a small axe. Bloemaert was significant in his oeuvre for going around his hometown in Utrecht and drawing from life, and using these sketches of the real world to compose his picturesque images. Interestingly, the prodigal son is very much a small part of what is a larger painting. Here, the prodigal son kneels among swine. Having spent his inheritance, he now envies the pigs their own food. Although this painting explores the biblical parable of the prodigal son, it's clear that Bloemaert was much more interested in the everyday landscape around him. Bloemaert's The Prodigal Son was the first Dutch painting to be acquired by Leamington Spa Art Gallery Museum, and is the oldest Dutch painting in the collection. As such, we wanted to use it as a lens through which to explore the other works in the collection. Leamington's collection includes a number of landscapes, showing peasants dancing and fighting, lovers courting by the side of rivers, and chimney sweeps walking home through the snow after a hard day's work. During the 16th century, Flemish artists working in the province of Flanders in the southern Netherlands, now part of modern-day Belgium, developed a type of landscape which depicted peasant life. Many Flemish artists travelled to the Dutch Republic in the 17th century, fleeing war in the south. They brought this style of painting with them and revived interest in landscapes as a genre among Dutch artists. One of the stars of the show is this self-portrait by Candlelight by the artist Godfried Schalcken, painted in 1695. The work was made when Schalcken travelled to London to try and court favour from the king, William III, and his wife, Queen Mary. In the painting, Schalcken shows himself as much younger than his 52 years of age, and points at his artist palette to show that he is the sole author of this work. Schalcken was famous for his use of candlelight and his ability to contrast light and dark in his powerful yet intimate portraits. Portraits were commissioned in the Dutch Republic for many of the same reasons that they were produced across Europe: to celebrate a person's power, wealth, or status, or to commemorate a significant event such as a birth or marriage. In this portrait of an elderly husband and wife, the artist has included various symbols to show their happy marriage. The little spaniel symbolises loyalty, the lute, harmony, and out in the garden we can see a peacock, the symbol of the Roman goddess Juno, who was responsible for marriage. Christianity was at the heart of life in the 17th century Dutch Republic, and it's reflected in a number of paintings in this exhibition which explore religion and biblical stories. The wealth and prosperity of the Netherlands brought with it all manner of possible temptations: greed, vanity, and pride. Paintings like these reminded viewers of the pitfalls of such sins and the importance of repentance and forgiveness to ensure their salvation in heaven. Many of the people who lived in the Dutch Republic were Calvinist, and Calvinist churches, unlike their Catholic counterparts, shunned decoration. Therefore, many of these religious paintings would actually be in the home of collectors rather than in religious spaces. In this painting, by David Teniers the Younger, The Temptation of St. Anthony, we see St. Anthony sitting in the corner. An Egyptian hermit, he had gone into the desert in order to focus solely on his faith. However, he was tempted by all manner of sins, here depicted by grotesque demons and a rather comically rotund bat flying above him in the sky. This exhibition is a wonderful opportunity to see our rare book by Maria Sibylla Merian showing the insects of Suriname. Maria Sibylla Merian is a fascinating artist who, in the later years of her life, took the arduous journey from Amsterdam to Dutch Suriname to record and illustrate the insects she found there. This book is an important part of our exhibition as it shows the impact of empire and slavery in creating the vast wealth of the 17th century Dutch Republic, which is otherwise not explained through the paintings on display. It also shows the remarkable achievements of women during this period. Sadly, there are no paintings by female artists on display in the exhibition, but this book is a fantastic testament to the amazing work that was being achieved by women at this time. In this illustration, Maria Sibylla Merian depicts some of the spiders that she saw during her time in Suriname. The most striking of these creatures to contemporary viewers is the bird-eating spider, whom Merian shows living up to its name in this illustration. Both species were unknown to science at this time. Maria's findings seemed so fantastical that many doubted the accuracy of her work. Merian's discoveries have subsequently been proved correct, and in 2017, a bird-eating spider was named after her. Leamington's Art Gallery Museum is free to visit, so come by and find out more about this fascinating period of art history.